Let's pick this thing. Official selections on the truckwreck.com text line. RJ, what do you want to see? And give us the pick.
All right, I got the big five. The big five things. Number one, and I think this is the easiest one to do. Pressure up the middle. I would be okay, and you know me, I am Mr. Micah on the edge, but I might be okay with Micah lining up at times over center as a linebacker, rushing from the A, putting pressure on Brady up the middle. That's where Tom, I think, seems to struggle the most when you get that. Those immobile guys, that's where you want to attack them. Number two, more efficiency on first down. They've been awful running the ball on first down. Less than 3 yards a carry. That's Bobby's stat, not mine, so if it's wrong, blame him. You can't win playoff games like that. Either stop running on first or run better, but you can't continue to do what they've been doing. 3, help over the top. I don't think his matchup is good DB-wise in the secondary because they've got 2 really, really good wide receivers. And the Cowboys, outside of Diggs, are relatively thin or not 100% healthy. Number 4, this would be a novel concept. Dak to act like an NFL quarterback this week. When 2 wide receivers have 1 catch on 6 targets each, that ain't on the wide receivers.
That's awful against Washington. Yeah. Like way off with the accuracy. Way off.
5 of his 12 games this year, his yards per attempt is under 7. He's 11th in QBR among playoff quarterbacks, 12th in EPA. I mean, that can't beat Georgia with those numbers. He's got to be better. And then number 5, McCarthy to be aggressive. Possession is more important than time. Do not give Tom Brady the ball back. Go for it. If you got to win the game on 4th and 2, it means you're going to give Tom the ball at midfield as opposed to, no, go for it on 4th and 2, end the football game.
You know, when you're facing a team that struggles to score like this, I wonder about if you're going to get in a 37, 34, 40, 37 shootout, which I do not anticipate, then I'm like, yeah, you go for it. But I'm asking the wrong person. I shouldn't even look at you. I should ask Bobby. Just punt it more and play more conservative, Bobby, with Tampa's offense not being dangerous throughout the majority of the season.
I don't know. I mean, it's the same question that was posed to Washington or to the Giants yesterday, and they went ahead and went for it, and it paid off. I mean, I think it's one of those things where if you do it and you get it, you're just going, oh, what a brilliant move, and if you do it and you don't get it, you're lamenting what just happened. But
high-scoring game, though. Like, neither of those defenses yesterday were stopping each other.
No.
What offense do we see? Do I see the Tampa Bay offense from week 1 last year or the one from week 1 this year? If it's the team week 1 this year, I'm just punting it. If it's the week 1 team last year, I'm going for it.
Give us your game keys.
I mean, it's going to be about limiting the big plays. The Cowboys allowed, over the last 5 weeks, more 20-yard pass plays than anybody else in the NFL. And so, you're going to need the secondary to play better. And in the event that it gets into a shootout, you obviously need Dak to play better. But the biggest thing, or not the biggest thing, one of the X factors I don't think we're talking about enough, we talked about this morning in regards to some of the other playoff games, is the game management. Like, you can't have poor game management if this thing is close, because that will lose you the football game. And so,
and I feel like that hasn't really been tested this year. That's a worrying concern of mine. I don't know if we have 2 or 3 McCarthy game management situations that we can allude to where we say he passed it with flying colors or he butchered it. It just feels like those opportunities, those attempts have not been there.
Yeah. I mean, you could look at it from the angle of, have the attempts not been there, or has he just managed close situations correctly to the point where you don't even? It's like, referees. You don't notice them unless they're doing something wrong. You notice game management unless it's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. 877-881-1053. So, I don't know. I can't get this out of my head. If Brady was playing for New England and Belichick in this game, it would not surprise me if they came out and threw it to Chris Godwin 8 straight times. It feels like Godwin is going to be an X factor, or whoever the Cowboys put their second corner on. What is history telling us, or what are we thinking about Diggs versus Evans, Bobby?
So Diggs has performed well against Mike Evans in the past. Last year, he aligned across from Mike Evans on 39 of his 47 routes, and he gave up 1 reception for 10 yards on 3 targets. And so he shut him down last year in week 1. This year, Mike Evans had mentioned this week that Diggs didn't follow him like he did in week 1 last year, but there were still 7 targets to Mike Evans in which Diggs was in coverage, and it was 3 catches for 33 yards. So Diggs has done well on Evans, but if you're telling me Xavier Rhodes is going to be a part of this game plan with his size and, the fact that he's not as fast as he once was, then I might instead have him on Evans and take my chances with Diggs against Godwin.
And for me, the Cowboys X factor, look, you can lose. That's not fine, but I understand if they lose this football game. You better go out with Tony Pollard touches, though. Do not sit there and freaking save this. In the first game, Tony Pollard had 6 carries for 8 yards, and he had 2 catches for 14. He's rested. He's your most explosive offensive player. If you're going to go down, you better get Tony Pollard all of his touches. I don't want to ramming Zeke into the back of your O-line on first and second down like they've been doing for the past month. A lot of people were tweeting Tony Pollard, guys, during the Niner game. Now, this may be very optimistic, too optimistic, delusional, but people are like, Tony Pollard can do what McCaffrey does. Put him in that role and get him those touches. And Christian McCaffrey was balling against Seattle. So that's my Cowboy X factor. He's their most explosive player. Don't forget about him.
I mean, look, Pollard was a completely different player in week 1. His role was way, way different. They've got to get him more involved, I think, in this game. And then you got to find out, what can Gallup give you?
Yes.
Is
he the biggest mystery?
Well, yeah. I mean, he is a mystery. Look, it's not like they don't target him. Dak targeted him in the last game. Dak targeted No Brown too. Either the throws weren't there or he wasn't able to come up with a play. I mean, but they've got to find a way to get him more involved.
I mean, Michael Gallup, over the course of his career, hasn't had a single season where his catch percentage is at 60% or above. It's just been the nature of his game. I don't know that he's a mystery so much as right now he's just not playing well. And so I think we just optimistically want to call it a mystery because we go, man, he's a good player. Why is he not playing well? It may just be that he's not been the same player since he came back from the knee.
What is Tampa defensively? Because it feels like this game is going to be a struggle to score points. Recency bias, right? I'm thinking about the first game this year versus the first game last year. If Dak plays 75% of what he was in the opener last year, the Cowboys will easily win. But this is a new year. I mean, he was an MVP last year in the first half of the season, starting with that Tampa game. He lit them up. This year, the Cowboys scored 3 points. Buccaneers ranked 14th in the league in run D. They give up 116 a game. 2 of their last 3 games, they gave up 174 to Atlanta on the ground and 121 to the Cardinals. So are we going to be screaming and yelling during the game that the Cowboys are trying to run the football too much versus unleashing their quarterback to try to bounce back from the bad Washington performance? Your selection for the game, RJ Choppy.
A lot of the numbers are pointing to me that the Cowboys win this game. The one that sticks out the most is these playoff rematches. And when you play a team earlier in the year, where and this is something that great quarterbacks do. When Brady and Rodgers and Manning and the like played a team that they lost to in the regular season, when they rematched against them in the postseason, their records are astronomically good, especially Brady's. And now you got to see if the same thing, this is Dak's coming out party. This is Dak's game where he has to show that. When you play that team, the team that wins and covers is 40, 54, and 3 against the spread in the rematch, which bodes very well for the Cowboys. And the Cowboys win 24-17.
24-17. What's the over-under for this game? See if you can get that while Bobby goes through his official pick. Oh, you guys get to pick first since you were 5-0 this weekend.
Oh, yes.
And I was 3-2 thanks to that idiot Brandon Staley.
45.5.
45.5. All right, so Bobby, you get to go next.
We got to lead with success first. Tolos needs the information quickly. They need the right picks. Dallas is a better football team than Tampa Bay. It doesn't mean Tampa Bay can't win or whatever else, but I mean just flat out they've been better over the course of 18 weeks than Tampa Bay has. And as Choppy's talked about, it's more about the broader picture than what happened in week 1 in a single instance. And so Dallas is a better football team. Again, doesn't mean they can't lose because there's still ways that I think Tampa Bay can challenge them. Particularly, I think there are ways that they can challenge Dallas's passing game. They can make things difficult on Dak in certain situations. But I still think this is going to be Dallas's game. So I've got the Cowboys 27-24 and on to San Francisco.
I'm going 23-20.
Okay.
23-20 Cowboys.
Okay.
Go.
So clean. Yeah, all right. Very good.
Pepe?
Cowboys. This one, I'm not worried at all. Tampa Bay's record is what the Vikings should have been this year at 8-9.
Oh, yeah,
Tampa Bay is really
You're right
bad.
on that one.
They're
You're
so
right on that
bad.
one.
I got Cowboys winning 27-20.
Tolos. Are we split? Are we one-sided? Bobby, how did the poll results take place throughout the week?
Well, we went from 55-45 Tampa to then it was like 80-20 Cowboys, and then after that I thought the point was made, so I didn't make another one. But I'm guessing it looks already like on social media this weekend that it was 80-20, which, by the way, I want to say we all got copied several times on different tweets from people saying, like, you guys picking against the Cowboys, blah, blah. We hadn't picked the game last week. And I had a good feeling all of us were going to pick Dallas, so I don't know where that came from. But
well, look,
yeah.
Last week was, and we told this to Stephen A., we admitted it. Last week, if I used a term or a description to describe the city, worried. Like, we're not sitting here thrilled. In San Francisco before Seattle, they're pumped to get their run started. In Buffalo, they're pumped to get it going. I think we're justifiably worried last week. That was the tone of the show, bringing up a lot of the negatives, bringing up a lot of the ifs, McCarthy's job status. But we did not pick the game. We do that on game day, and all of us have the Cowboys winning. Tolos on the text overall?
Yeah, they overall Cowboys. Let's see. Here we go. Cowboys.
And I'm not greatly confident. Peyton's the most confident of us, I think, then Bobby. I'm scared. I'd say everyone yesterday.
Oh, there's a fear factor. You have to.
Everyone's like, what do you think? What do you think? I said, you got a coin?
When has this team performed over the last 30 years that has given you confidence in their playoff opportunity here?
Yeah, but Tolos are going with the Cowboys.
37-13 Cowboys, 24-10 Cowboys by 21, Bucs 24-20. Let's see. Cowboys 28-21. Pollard needs 70% of the touches. The biggest mystery is your quarterback, and it's not even close. 38-13 Cowboys, 28-17 Cowboys. Bowles owns us, did it with a winless Jets team, loves playing against Dak. Let's see. 30-27 Tampa, 31-19 Cowboys.